All right.
Yeah.
It is 5:15
Someday.
on Wednesday, April 8th. So I'd like to call this meeting of the Oregon Public Library Board to order. May I have a roll call, please, Laura?
Sure. Stata.
Here.
Reese.
Here.
Goplin.
Here.
Bonsonfield.
I'm here.
And Nelson, Bergstrom, and Beschen. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. I would entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented
So
tonight.
moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, John. All in favor?
I
Opposed? All right. Any community input this evening? All right. We can move on to the consent agenda, which is amending or approving the minutes from our February meeting? March meeting? I'm looking at the March meeting notes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from March.
Thank you, Coral. Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
I.
Opposed? All right, my brain will start working here in a minute. Moving on to review and payment of available bills, and accepting the final financial reports. Is there a motion to do so?
moved.
Thank you, John. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Laura. Anything you'd like to point out this evening, Jennifer?
Just want to point out that we had one of the bills was for a service call from 2025. The village has already done their audit, so that will come out of this year's funding. And then if we go over budget, that'll be taken out of the fund balance. I'm happy to answer any other questions you might have.
Does anyone have any questions for Jennifer this evening?
Oh, I should mention one other thing. We also have another endowment gift that we received that we're transferring to the Madison Community Foundation. That gift was received in March. And so we're just transferring that to honor the donor's intent that it be contributed to our endowment.
So in other words, there's no fiscal impact to our finances of any kind.
Correct. We could just give the check written out to us to the Madison Community Foundation, but that triggers additional work for the village finance director in terms of the audit.
Right.
And so it's cleaner for us to accept the check and then in turn the check around to them as far as the audit and bookkeeping purposes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Any other questions for Jennifer? Hearing none, all in favor?
I
Opposed? All right, thank you, everybody. Update from the library director's report and Linkett downtime?
So the library has a couple upcoming closures I just want to make sure all of you are aware of in case you can't use a mouse today, in case you hear from the public. So next Tuesday, we're going to be closed all day for our staff training. We're going to be focusing on that new software system, so we're going to be working on that all day. And then on May 6th, we're going to be opening just a little late so our staff can attend a required village safety training. We will talk about some of the impacts of services for the public in just a few minutes, but also want to make sure you know about the Friends of the Library book sale coming up on Friday and Saturday. It's a great fundraiser for the Friends, and it supports nearly all of our library programming through the funds that they raise. So I encourage you to shop or spread the word if anybody you know would be interested, starting Friday at 4 to the public. National Library Week is coming up in 2 weeks. I think that is, I don't even know what date it is. And then we talked about the endowment gift from the Seaboard Family Fund earlier in the meeting, so I won't repeat that. We are in the process of filling positions, so we're still filling that circulation library assistant position that was vacated in February, so we're working on filling that position. We're lucky to have a really good pool of candidates for that. And we are also working on filling the 2 limited term employment positions we have for pages every summer. Summer's a really busy time for shelving and returns with school being out of session. We also completed the performance evaluation process for all of our non-management team members. We will probably, with all the software migration, we will we didn't get our management team evaluations done on our usual time frame. So we will be discussing if it's feasible with those staff members to adjust their evaluation schedule to match the time frame of the director evaluation, to kind of split that into two pieces, because delays in the other process kind of affect that. The election was here yesterday. We had 1,760 people come through our doors yesterday, or entries to our building yesterday, which is our busiest day in this building. And many of those were for the election, but also many were for visiting just the library, and many were for both, so that was exciting to see. Also to make sure you know about, there's some construction that's gonna be coming up on the intersection of Highway CC and Alpine Parkway. We don't know official dates or anything, but just wanna alert you that that intersection will be closed for a while, so people visiting the library will have to have other routes. We're hoping the village will have some good communication about detour routes and enclosures once they know more. And then I'm gonna just talk about the LinkCat outage. So we have on our website information for patrons, kind of alerting them with some details about what services will be affected. But basically starting in the evening on Sunday the 12th through Thursday the 16th, patrons will not be able to use LinkCat to access their account information, request titles, renew things. And then in the library, some services will be limited, so they'll need to bring their library card in order to be able to check out. We can't look them up by photo ID while the system is down. Our self-checks won't be available, so we'll have all our transactions, we'll have to go through the public service desk. And then we won't be able to renew or place requests because we won't have access to that information. So there's some limitations. There are other services that will continue unaffected, so using meeting rooms, using our Libby to download electronic books and audiobooks, library programs, printing, copying, and faxing, all those things will still be going on as usual. So if patrons have any questions, you can direct them to staff. Again, we will also be closed in the middle of that week on the 14th for that staff training, so that will reduce the impact to patrons since that closed day as well, things are down anyway. But we ask for folks to be patient with their staff. The changes to patrons won't be as drastic, but it's gonna affect every single workflow that our staff do. So it'll take us a little while to learn those to be as efficient as we were before.
Yes.
Of course.
So I'm happy to answer any questions, but things are changing on a daily basis, and we're doing our best to prepare our staff and support them so they can support the public.
Were there be benefits to you all of the new system? Like, are there things that you as a staff are looking forward to, or is it mostly just overhead?
There are benefits to this system. The system we were on now is an open source system, but there are very few public libraries on it at this point. We were supposed to migrate to a different version of the software, but they started having response time on that software in November, so this is not the version that our staff was supposed to go to. So, but because of deadlines and contracts and things, we're going forward anyway. So I would say that once we get to that new platform, that's the next version up of this, it's much more intuitive and user-friendly, and so there will be benefits for staff when we get to that point.
I'm sorry. As an IT, I get it. Okay. Well, thank you for the effort that you're putting in then now, because I recognize that that is a big change, and that does require a lot of human change management that is not always easy.
Yeah, I think the majority of the benefits to the patrons are going to be available immediately, or will be able to be put in motion once we move. So I think it's going to really benefit our community the most, and that's the most important thing. Well, thank you for
Question.
taking one for the team.
So once we upgrade to this new LinkCat, then in the future there'll be another version we also have to update again to?
At some point, we hope. Yeah.
Oh, so it's not a thing that's even available yet?
Yeah, I think the patron interface, I believe, is the same one, but it's the interface for staff. So the things that our staff would use to check out books, like the circulation component, would be the one that we would hope to upgrade. The cataloging and acquisitions would have still been on the old model, but it's the checkout. So there's things with how library cards are set up, and there's some features that we really look forward to.
Sure.
But those are not available in this version yet. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Jennifer? Okay, we can move on to management team and strategic plan quarterly report.
So our staff is just doing so many wonderful things and working so hard to support our patrons and each other. A couple things I want to highlight here. One of the things that we're able to add as a new service with a minimal cost and time is Kara's working on a Microsoft certification program where we are a certified service to do that. So community members can come in and get certified and then have it on their resume as part of their job search that they are certified in Excel or Word or whatever at a certain level. So that's exciting to be able to offer that. They're just getting started on that. Just want to highlight a few things that each department is doing, but there's so much it's hard to pick and choose.
No, I just appreciate all of these updates. There's just so much to scroll through and read, and I would encourage everyone, if they're interested, to go out there and look at our packet and see.
Yeah, just all of it, just tons of programming going on. During spring break, they had a great elephant and piggy visit with about 260 people attended that program. Usually we do it on a Saturday, but this year we tried doing it during spring break to have extra things for families who are around Oregon, so that was a great turnout for that. And then so circulation, our circulation team has been doing an incredible job. We've been short the 20-hour week position, and they've been doing a great job. And then also a lot of the departments have really been working hard to help, even though it's caused challenges for them in their own workflow. So really impressed with everybody doing what they can to help out. But just a lot of the focus is on preparing for that new software. We also had the annual carpet cleaning recently, so just trying to keep up with all the building maintenance and preventative maintenance. So thanks to Laura and Alex and their department for taking care of those things. A lot of attending a lot of trainings. The workflow for our ordering acquisitions is going to change the most, and it's not ready to go to the same level the other things are. So those processes are going to be the most impact. Unfortunately, they only affect a few people, but those people are going to be affected the most probably with their workflow. Probably going to be a lot more cumbersome until it's ready to go. April, lots of wonderful events like always. I like the balloon time coming up. There is a the teen after hours programs are really well received. There is one on Friday the 17th, whereas at the teen late night it's going to be a murder mystery theme, so that's a great program. There's also Lincoln's Counterfeiters, an author visit, which sounds like a really great program for adults. And then Kara's also working with the Oregon Straw Hat Players on some sewing and costuming, stage management, and scene painting workshops for the public. So those should be fun ways for people to get involved. And then again, the Friends book sale information is also here. So that's still going on, even though we tried to cut back. It doesn't work very well, I guess.
Anything from monthly statistics you'd like to highlight for us, Jennifer?
Not in particular.
Okay. I just love to see all of these fun colors increasing.
Yeah, the study room use continues to be really popular, and a lot of days there's all 4 adult rooms are full, and the teen rooms are full with adults for part of the day, and we hope that there's room for teens after school.
Great. We can move on to committee reports. Any updates from the nominating committee?
Yeah, the survey was sent out a few days ago, and it was just sent out recently, so if you haven't had a chance to respond yet, please do so just by the end of the month, so we have a chance to compile our recommendations.
Great, thank you. Any updates from the gazebo committee, Coral, that you'd like to share? I'd be happy to share them.
I think ultimately we have done some initial due diligence, and I believe that we have some things that we are waiting on to understand what the DNR might require of us to determine whether the gazebo is going to be a viable option in the location that we've been discussing. So it's, a lot of good work has already gone into it, and it will be a little bit more time before we have anything conclusive, I think, to share with the wider group.
Thank you, Carl. I would agree with your sentiments. The Personnel Committee hasn't met recently, so we don't have any updates. Communications, a new version of LinkCat going live, we've talked about. Anything else you want to address there,
No,
Jennifer?
we just put that submitted to the Oregon Observer for publication to try to get the word out, along with all the other usual channels we use to get the word out. So hoping folks are aware to the extent that they can be.
Great. Anything to highlight from the Friends of Library newsletter?
Just the book sale, I'd say.
Okay, which I plan on coming twice, Friday, and then for the bag of books on Saturday. Village board announcements have been covered, school district announcements, I don't know that we have anything besides we're back from spring break.
We're doing some state testing right now, spring testing for the state.
In the home stretch, I feel like.
Getting there. It always goes fast after spring break.
It does.
Yeah.
Discussion and possible action items now. 7A, the proclamation recognizing April 19th through the 25th of 2026 as National Library Week from the Village of Oregon.
So the village does a nice gesture each year and puts a proclamation on to celebrate National Library Week. Not all villages do that, so it's really great to see them honoring and recognizing the role of the library in the community, along with some of the other special weeks they recognize. And so they considered this at their Monday meeting and just want to recognize the excellent work of our staff each and every day, and then just the wonderful support of the community in using the library and supporting it in all sorts of different ways to make it what it is to the community, along with all of your support and leadership as well.
Great, thank you. Any discussion or anything anybody would like to add to that?
Does this require action on our part?
It technically does not, but it could if you'd like to take action to reinforce the proclamation or to prove the proclamation on your own behalf, that would be fine too. If you wanted to reinforce the positive comments that they say.
Well, you don't have a proposed motion here, so I'm
I
floundering.
don't, but I felt weird having no action items after like years of having so much. I'm like, other libraries do that, but we've not had that happen, so it was just kind of a weird thing.
I think
I didn't know what to do.
we should be grateful.
As a board, should we move to acknowledge this? I mean, would that be appropriate?
That would absolutely be appropriate.
I move that we acknowledge this.
Okay,
Our second.
okay.
One of, whichever one
Pick
you put
one.
down. Yeah. Interchangeable over here.
Any comments?
I'm really grateful that we have a wonderful library. I proclaim it.
Thanks, John.
So proclaimed.
I would just add too, I am thankful for the village recognition here, and appreciating everything that our staff does to support the community, even outside of the Village of Oregon. So I would also like to extend my deepest gratitude to the staff for all of the hard work that they do in making this such a great place for everybody to come.
Thank you. And thank you for all of your work in making that happen.
So, yeah, I'm getting there. So hearing no further discussion, all in favor?
Hi.
Opposed? Okay, thank you, everyone. Are there any requests for future agenda items for our meeting in May? No? Okay, so our next meeting will be on Wednesday, May 13th, here at the library at 5:15 p.m. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. All in favor?
All right.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.